What's poppin', y'all? Man, how exciting is it that we get some new Uzi? I'm going to break this video up into several different parts. The first part, we will talk specifically about the EP. So the EP itself, he dropped, I didn't even think this was real, the Maverick EP, because I got a notification, and this is how you know I was really dying for some new Uzi music, which is a little bit different than the take that I usually have, which is that Uzi's dropped enough amazing music to last me a lifetime, which I still do believe is true. But I've just had the itch for some new Uzi. So I would tweet at him. When was this? Maybe a week ago? 2 weeks ago? And my initial tweet was on July 20th. And I tweeted directly at Uzi. And I said, you got your hit song this year. It ran its course, this is what you're saying, and is no longer on the Hot 100. Please drop or tease some new music at Lil Uzi Vert. And then we would suddenly get a new project. So you guys can thank me. I'm going to give myself full credit for the fact that we got new Lil Uzi Vert music. No, it couldn't have also been iShowSpeed, who streamed with Lil Uzi Vert and then asked him live, or not live, but in an interview to drop new music as well. It couldn't have been that.
If I feel like an artist should be dropping music, I'm going to tell them straightforward. You should be dropping music because what are you doing? I'm a fan of your music, and you have a lot of fans. Drop music. What are you sitting there for? That's what I told Easy for. I'm like, Uzi, you got some good music in the vault. Everybody knows that. You should be dropping. Like, what are you doing not dropping music?
You giving me advice, I'm giving you advice. Just drop. Drop your shit, bro.
And after that, he listened to me, and he dropped music, and now he has, like, top 50 on the Billboard now, I think. That, I don't know what you're saying. So, look, that's what happens when you drop music. So, yeah, I feel like I do have a huge role in that, and I will continue to have a huge role in telling artists to drop music.
But for my ever fragile ego, we're going to say that it was me, okay? And not Speed. Regardless, I'm really happy that he ended up dropping because I was this close. I'm telling you, I was this close to start listening to unreleased Uzi and like leaks and stuff like that. Now, if you've been here for any amount of time, especially like peak leak era, I was never really into leaks. Part of the reason was that, hey, look, if an artist is doing all of the effort to put together an album, mixtape, I'm going to wait for that and listen to that because it's going to be the best quality product that they believe I should listen to. Leaks and all that other stuff, like some of the leaks suck. And then if you enjoy a leak and it never comes out or it never gets finished, or if the version that comes out is different than the leaked version that you liked, there's just so much BS to deal with in that regard. But I got a notification because I was on like one of these Discords. Yes, I'll be lurking on the alts. I'll be lurking on the main too. And I get a notification. This thing is on Audio Mac. I'm like, man, I'm going to risk getting a virus. Do we even got viruses anymore? Anyway, I'm going to risk getting a virus. It's not like I have crypto or anything like that for them to steal. So I hop on and then I'm like, wait, hold on. This is real. So I'm listening to this. This is before it even got on Apple Music and Spotify. And I am elated. This is a great EP. So just going through the list, I would say great project. And I'm happy that he released an EP too. Now, I actually like the London track. I know some of the Londoners here will say like, man, he's doing this trash accent. Listen, to us, it sounds like a very accurate accent. Like this isn't, you can tell when someone's accent sucks. Like if I were to do a London accent, it would suck. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to humor you guys like that right now, okay? You wouldn't even be laughing at the accent. You'd be laughing at me. And that hurts my feelings. So with London, I'm like, yo, the accent kind of hits. This isn't bad. And I like the fact that it's a bonus track. The intro is a banger. If there were no misses here. Like 223, I didn't really care for too much in the beginning. But if there's any song that I would say is that, not even a miss, but man, I don't even know. There's no misses on here. There are songs like, for example, like, I think it was Say It Was. When I first listened to it, I was like, this is all right. But after listening to this EP at least 8 times in the weekend that it dropped, there's not a single miss on here. And this is the perfect thing for Uzi to release because there's no expectation when it comes to the mixtape or an album. There's no expectation of touring. There's no judgment regarding numbers, although some people did talk about that. So we're done with the first section, which is me just excited that I got some new Uzi after I asked for it. I was so happy. I was writing up tweets about Uzi because that's the only thing that's been on my mind. is his music. So this is great Uzi. And so the second part of this will be people that are kind of like talking about the numbers. And then the third part will be Cardi Uzi discussion. So we're going to venture off into the second part right now, which is the numbers discussion. I believe, this is my belief, is that if somebody summons a hit song during that year, you gotta fall back. You can't be talking about like, oh man, this person, their numbers aren't hitting like they used to. We got to see what these numbers do, because this one fan page would tweet out the following and says, what last Cleo take for the road, the Young Thug and now Uzi love bomb theory. So this is a fan page that says, remember when I called these songs? He's talking about the 4-pack that Uzi dropped earlier this year. The like regular, Chanel Boy, Relevant, and I think What You Saying is one of them. He says, remember when I called these songs mid and y'all acted like it was the greatest thing since sliced bread and I was crazy, but now these songs sit as some of his most unstreamed songs in Uzi's whole discography? I wonder, where did all that love go? And now I propose to you the Young Thug fan love bomb theory. And what is that? You ask, it's the phenomenon where once a rapper gets old and starts dropping objectively less good stuff, this is some of the best stuff Uzi has ever dropped, mind you, than his peak, you still glaze it as such just because you know how good he used to be, and you get this feeling off your disrespecting your favorite artist I guess not off, by calling his new project or singles not as good or mid. So fans will love bomb the hell out of it at first, then the streaming numbers come out in 6 months and you wonder, where did the love go? This is really confusing. So this individual is saying that because an artist isn't as good as they were in their quote unquote prime, that people aren't going to say that. They're more likely to say that they're actually really good now instead of the fact that they suck to cope. That is confusing. I've never heard of something like that. Now this Uzi was not at his peak in 2016. And let me propose a theory. My theory is that a lot of people, they attach some sentimentality, some nostalgia to a period of time in their life when some of this music was being dropped. Now, 2016 Uzi, yeah, that was a banger. But if he were to take a song from 2016 that was unreleased and drop it in the same sessions, people would be like, man, this sounds old. This sucks. And people have done this. Leaks have come out and people have had this saying. Now, for the streaming aspect of it and for the numbers, which I don't think people care about numbers really. I think it's only Uzi fans or like Uzi stans that are looking at the numbers. We can't judge Atlantic Records Uzi, and we're talking prime Atlantic Records, one of the biggest labels that was putting a lot of money into one of their biggest artists, Uzi, to Uzi Rock Nation Distribution, Core Uzi, where he's basically independent and using a distributor. And that's where these songs came out of, and that's where this EP comes out of. And EP, you're not even supposed to care about the number. We shouldn't be. Well, it's not we shouldn't. Nobody cares about numbers anymore, really. It's like it's a dated thing. For at least 2 years plus, numbers have not really mattered. That's why I'm telling all these other artists that were scared of flopping for years, just come out. You guys are hiding in the bush like the Simpsons meme. Come out. Nobody cares anymore. I promise you. And especially for an EP. So you can't judge this with Atlantic Records. The guy's under distribution right now. And also, those other songs had so much more time to accumulate streams than these newer songs. I like these songs. I like the 4-pack that Uzi dropped. I think I talked about it. I think it was on X. I don't know if I said it here. I'm not too certain about that. But I like that. He dropped a hit song. So if you get a hit song, you can fall back. You can't be talking about a person's numbers because independently, he dropped one of the biggest songs this year, bar none, and a really cool music video for it as well. And now we're going to hop into the third section before we get into the fourth section, which is probably where I find some sort of tangent to go on for 2 to 4 minutes. I don't know why it's 2 to 4 minutes. That's usually when I catch myself. So the Cardi Uzi thing. I do think an interesting thing is happening right now between Cardi and Uzi is that for a period of time, I would say Cardi was ahead of Uzi. Ahead as in a lot more people were interested in what he was doing. A lot more people were excited for what he had going on. A lot more people were looking up to him. But with Uzi, it was kind of like, especially after like EA, like Pink Tape. Pink Tape had a lot of hype, but people were just like, Cardi's the superstar now. However, I think a lot has happened to Uzi's image and Cardi's image in the reverse. So a lot of people were saying like, Uzi doesn't have that mysterious factor. that Cardi has. Partially, I've said this a couple of times, or I've agreed with the take. I definitely wasn't pushing the take hard. And that is true. But Uzi Vert's likability, friendliness, seeing him everywhere, personality, as time has passed, it's effortless. Whereas a lot of people thought Cardi was just like this mysterious shadow figure that was effortless. So he was just like this cool guy, but as we're learning from these body cam footages that release, from, I would say, the moment that the mask began to crack was when he hopped on Aiden Ross's stream. And now you start to look at it and say, wait, hold on. This guy isn't just chilling and just doing his thing, and this is just him, like Uzi. Like, you just randomly see Uzi at some, I don't know, Philly gas station, photobombing some people's music video, or just showing up to somebody's wedding. Like, that's just Uzi things. Cardi is sitting there thinking about every single thing that he's going to do, making sure photos get taken of him. You're like, wait, hold on. This guy's trying really hard. And nothing turns people away more than a tryhard. I'm not saying people aren't going to like Cardi's music. Of course they're going to like his music. But I think everything peaked with music, no pun intended. And right now, is there a huge anticipation for new Cardi music or a new Cardi album? I think if he drops, he's going to perform well, sure. But where are we in the world right now for new Cardi? Like, what's the storyline for us to get new Cardi? Before, it was like 2024 music. It was like post Whole Lotta Red, huge wave. That's a spirit bomb. He's never going to get something like that again. Whereas for an Uzi right now, it's kind of like he's on the up. Cardi has to match up to the previous success that he had, which is very, very hard. I think this is actually the perfect timing for them to both link up and drop something together, whether it's a short EP. And I don't mean like right now. I mean in exactly a year or 8 months or so. Because we haven't gotten music from these guys in so long. I'm pretty sure they're still cool. However, discography-wise, Uzi Vert clears Cardi. We can agree in that regard, right? I don't think I'm tripping for saying that. So right now, Uzi is definitely in the lead. And like I said, Uzi caught a hit. A solo hit, mind you. Yeah, you could say the sample and all of that. But Cardi, when was the last time Cardi had a solo hit that wasn't a feature and it was just him? Like, music, I thought was great. I think I like music more than a lot of other people. I think a lot of other people were just like, it's mid, or it's like, it's good, but it's not as good as Whole Lotta Red. That seemed to be the consensus. But I like that this was fun. Uzi just dropped this without really promoting it. I think this was his temperature check. I think the confidence that he got from the success of the hit that he got this year is what urged him to put it out too. Because he's like, man, I got a hit. I proved it to myself that I still got it like that. Because a lot of artists think like this. Like, yo, do I still got it? Do I still got it in me? And then as a confidence boost, getting a hit, it's no easy feat. And then he just drops an EP. And he did say album or mixtape or something coming soon as a teaser in the eyes of the cover. Do I want an Uzi album right now? No. Like, the EP's fine. I know some Uzi fans probably going to be mad at me like, yo, what do you mean? We want some more stuff. Nah, let this cook. Let this cook for about like 8 months or at least 6 months. Like, no album until 2027. And I can't wait for an Uzi tour. I've actually never been to an Uzi show. I remember the Pink Tape, he went on tour for that, but I don't even remember that. I didn't go though. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. No tangent for today. Like, it's actually, as a matter of fact, we're going to go on a tangent because some commenter, I remember, I was mentioning House of the Dragon. So you can just leave if you're on this topic. I remember I was talking about like how I was just watching House of the Dragons. And then some person said, oh, that's like the worst one of A Song of Ice and Fire series. I was like, wait, hold on. So there's more than 2. So then I realized like, oh, there's like a Night of the Seven Kingdoms or whatever. So I go watch that, which is just like some hedge night. It's some nonsense, at least for the first couple of episodes. There's like 6 episodes or 7 episodes. There's just 1 season out right now. The first couple of episodes, I'm like, man, this sucks. This is boring. This is lame. This is, I guess it's supposed to be kind of funny, but I'm sitting there anticipating that this is going to be great. And by the end of it, it's just, okay. Do I want to watch the next season? Well, I will watch the next season because I'm invested now, but that thing does not hold up to House of the Dragon. So whoever that commenter was, I can't believe you did me like that. Like, House of the Dragons hits, especially the most recent episode this week. Come on now. Let's be real here. Now, do I think it's better than Game of Thrones? Absolutely not. That would be blasphemy. I'm not going to go that far. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments, especially that commenter. I don't know the commenter's name, but you were on my mind. I'm going to see y'all in the next one.